have this whole series of 1 gallons. We've talked about them a little bit. They're all proven winners. They're the big full gallon, the PF 400, which is a big full gallon. So, as far as sizing with most of it, very close to a 2. Unfortunately, we couldn't get tags and codes and all that before the info went out for spring orders. So the data's all in there. It was in the system last week and stuff, but obviously you didn't have that information in time to really book against it. So Cheryl's reached out to Mark this morning, Mark Matheson, and we'll start offering some of those also as possible subs. Some of this stuff's brand new to us here at Willoway. So next week, we're going to spend a little time in this meeting talking about these 1 gallons, a little bit of what they are. So you can start having conversations, because there might be possibilities for subs or new sales as well. So, but since we're behind there, we're going to try to give you info so maybe you can use it to your advantage. So stay tuned. So let's jump into one of those substitutions right here off the bat. So this is for Forsythia Linwood Gold, probably for the territory managers. This is not new, but it might be new to some of our inside people. Way back a long time ago, there was Linwood Gold and Spring Glory, and we decided to go the Spring Glory route. So did a few others, and then other people went the Linwood Gold. I was able to secure these, bring them in for resale, 1,000 of them, because we're oversold on Spring Glory. We're also oversold on the other Forsythia, but this is what I could get, which I was happy to get it. You can see there, lots of long branches. Linwood Gold is definitely only blooms on new wood. Okay, so it's only going to send blooms on new wood. Fairly similar to Spring Glory. People go back and forth. I tend to think it has a little bit thinner stem than Spring Glory, but still, once they get established in the landscape, it's very difficult to tell the difference between the two. So I think Linwood Gold is a real good sub for Spring Glory. We got 1,000. They're on inventory now. Ilex Goblin Guy and Goblin Orange. So we'll keep talking about these a little bit. The fantastic crop. So this is Guy. Let's go ahead and go to Orange. So Guy is the male. Goblin Orange is the one that's got the berries. You can see there. These are real photos, just a day or two old. You can see there just how many berries are loaded on these things. This is a fall, early winter event only. These berries will be completely gone by the time we go to ship in the spring. They will have completely fallen off. Usually the berries don't last much longer than towards, excuse me, towards the end of December there, and then they'll fall off or the birds will get them. So, but there's still a little bit of opportunity. Obviously, we're still pulling next week, so get some more of these out. People can enjoy them for the holiday. But also, you can see here the sizing. We have males and females, so you can sell them as a package. You do have to have a male very close to really get good berry set. You can get a little bit of berry set, but I will tell you, Ilex verticillata really have to have a male very close in order to get heavy berry set. If you don't, it just isn't going to do well for the berries. So it's very important to have males with the females. So there's a good package to promote there. Okay, so a little bit different animal, so we'll go into them in Servius. So this is Blue Princess. You can see there just the sheer size of it. They're looking great. Blue Prince is next. Obviously, these are the males and the females. We also offer them as a combination, which is called Royal Family. So you can buy the singles here, which we have availability on. You can see they're nice sizing, heavy plants. And then we also still have good availability on Royal Family. So you can go either way there. Right now, if I was looking at a value, especially for a landscaper, I probably would tend to push it towards the singles. They're a little bigger, and you don't necessarily have to have a 1-to-1 ratio. You just have to have some males sprinkled in there. So see what you can do there. If they really want a bigger, heavier 3-gallon, I would go with the singles, but there's nothing wrong with the raw family. They're still good size, but just kind of splitting hairs there a little bit. Right, Ilex Green Magic. So this is, I think did we hit all the Ilex? No, we probably don't have a Coronata. That's Cheryl's fault. She didn't put a Coronata in here. So yeah, so this is a Glabra. So there again, a little bit different. Looks like on the proven winner ones, from what I've seen from your allocations, we're overbooked on the proven winner. What are we doing? Strong box. But Green Magic, is a good sub for that line. It's one of the older varieties. It's still a nice grower. It probably is a little denser than a lot of varieties out there. Probably the closest thing we have to that strong box. But strong box is a little more compact, a little bit smaller leaf. But this is a good sub to put out there, and we still have availability on it. Remember, on the Glabras, including the proven winter ones, if they have them, if they take them this fall, water, 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 water. You cannot overwater this thing. It takes incredible amounts of water. Even though it doesn't look like it's growing, it's transpiring. If it's planted in a landscape in a mound, drier area, it will probably burn if it dries out for a period. Definitely in the hoop house, it has to be watered periodically through the winter. We actually have a water rig that we drive around with big stock water tanks with pumps and water these all through the winter. So almost on a weekly or every other week basis. So that's very critical with this plant. Pinus Mugo. So we got just this fantastic, every time I drive up to Lakeview North, these catch my eye. 7 gallons. They're really a squat pot, but you can see there how great they are. The guys put a little trim on them this summer. They just look great. 3 gallons. Looks like we're pretty well booked out on those, but we also have Pumalo, so don't forget about Pumalo. That is a Mugo type. Little bit more maybe upright. It's not really upright. That's not fair. But just slightly different. To the untrained eye, they're probably not going to see the difference. But a lot of people went towards Pumalo because it propagates easier than Mugo NC. Mugo NC can be difficult to propagate sometimes. So that's why we see Pumalo out there. But Pumalo is a very good sub. Plus, we have these nice 7s out there that I don't think people are realizing that we really have. So that's something good to talk about. Taxus densiformis, got a great crop of densiformis out there in the nursery. You can see there the sizing is great. Definitely going to make the landscape wholesaler extremely happy. Our spec is 18 inches. We're well over that spec. We got a good number out there. I think we covered your allocations fine, and there's still some more to sell there. With the kind of the, Everlows continue to be very short. Densiformis, we look good. Hicksii are tight, but we still have some, I think, 3 gallons that are available out there. But the market's pretty tight on Taxus right now. So, it's just something to mention. We do have these available, but it would be definitely something that people would have to book soon. I think they're going to run out pretty quick once people see what's on the market. Green Giant, talk about one that has extremely high demand, an incredible amount of demand. That it just seems like that's how we pull. We had to actually give the crew a little break that pulls 15 gallons this fall. It was pretty rough on them, so we had to support that crew a little bit just because the incredible amount of these we had to pull. But that's going to make it pretty thin for 15 gallons. As far as a 15-gallon upright, there really isn't any subs. It's very tight, very tough out there. You guys sold out on the B&B. I don't see anybody with availability. I am bringing in, which I noted on the allocation report, and hopefully we can show you a photo of these next week. We're bringing in 2,042-inch 7 gallons. So that will help the 7 gallon part, but that's about as big as I could find. These are threes. You can see there a real nice three, well over 24 inches. I know it's not a 15, but we haven't really sold threes in the past, but we had these available. We overshifted on our 15s again this year and sevens, so we really jacked that number up again. And I was able to chase down a whole bunch of extra gallons earlier this year. We bumped up and trying to take advantage of what we can. So anyways, you can talk about that. It's a good heavy 3 gallon, might help some people out with as short as the market is. And last one is Wygelia Stunner. This would be my value pick of the week. So Wygelia Stunner is kind of in between spilled wine and rose. So it's right in between there as far as height and how it grows. So it's definitely a spreader, but it gets a little higher. Great plant, very adaptable, extremely tough. Got great northern breeding in it, can handle any range that we sell in. We shouldn't have an issue with this plant. Matter of fact, it's so tough. I either tent or minimal heat all of our Wygelia, except for this one. This is the only one I don't do that with because it's so tough and we haven't seen any issues with it. That is a 2 gallon. So you got the 2 gallon price, but you can see the size is it's not too overgrown and it's at that 3 gallon size. So great value, great plant. We still have plenty of spilled wine and rose, the whole line. But talk about this one a little more. I just don't think a lot of people know about it. We brought it online really because of its toughness, its adaptability, and the fact that I don't have to heat it and spend heat room and everything else. And you get this beautiful Wygelia with nice red foliage and the blooms. So that's where we are there. We're still good to go for shipping next week. Obviously, it gets harder and harder as we go down the line here. With the nursery, we're rounding the corner. We still have several hundred houses to cover, but we just can't cover them till next week. It's a lot of conifers. We just wait as long as we can to keep those things outside, not to let them get too warm. Plus, they require a lot of water too. But sometime by midweek or so, we'll pretty well be buttoned up. So anything that we're pulling in a hoop house will take about twice the amount of time as it normally does. So any orders you can get out right off the bat, beginning of next week, helps immensely. It really does. So as much as you can do, we appreciate it. So.